Hello. Do you know what the second most recognized smell is, only behind that of burning wood? Or the second most consumed beverage, only behind that of water? Even more fascinating, the second most highly traded commodity behind that of petroleum? If you guessed coffee, you're correct. Today I'm excited to share with you the origins and the significance and the impact of coffee on the United States. According to William Euchers, a coffee legend and historian, as well as the International Coffee Organization, coffee was first introduced to the United States by John Smith in 1607. John Smith brought with him his knowledge of coffee. The East India Company further introduced coffee to the United States by introducing it along the East Coast in the 1630s to 1660s. It wasn't until the 1670s that Dorothy Mason, the first American coffee trader, received her license to trade coffee in the United States. At the same time, coffee in the United States was growing, and the United States started building coffee houses designed by England's coffee houses. However, ours had an American twist as they doubled as taverns. In 1688, coffee became so popular that it overtook beer as the breakfast beverage of choice in New York. The significance that coffee was having at this time was realized in these coffee houses. Such a significant event occurred at the Green Lantern in 1767 as America started to establish itself as an independent from England. This was enhanced by King George trying to tax Americans on such items such as tea. Well, why do I mention tea in a conversation about coffee? Well, in that time, tea and coffee were equally popular. Well, King George wanted to get his money with taxation on tea, and Americans wanted their independence from England. So, at the Green Lantern, conversations took place on how to avoid this taxation. One such occurrence happened in a Boston harbor in 1773. During this time, Americans decided to dress as Indians, board this ship, and overthrow the shipment of tea into the Boston harbor, better known as the Boston Tea Party today. This independence from tea helped establish coffee as the king drink in these early times. The significance of coffee was further enhanced with the Revolutionary War, where Americans found that the qualities of coffee could keep them lively and able to fight. This was also established and used in the War of 1812. So much so that in the Civil War, coffee beans were the primary ration of soldiers. Coffee took a break from war, and then in 1865, the percolator was invented. The percolator helped establish coffee by making it accessible to most middle-class Americans. In 1901, Japanese American invented instant coffee. The significance of this instant coffee was seen in World War I. World War I, instant coffee or dehydrated packets were standard military issue in rations that Americans took with them to war. Americans so much liked their coffee that they would use their emergency matches to light this coffee during wartime. When the Americans got home from World War I, they realized that America had not changed and that the coffee houses were still in existence, but they could have coffee with their meals, thus born the American diner. Coffee was so popular that in the 1940s and 1950s, Americans started to invent what the English coined tea time. Americans came up with the coffee break. So popular, in fact, that 70 to 80% of Americans enjoyed their coffee breaks then and still today. So what has been the impact of coffee on America other than the coffee break? Well, today 80% of Americans drink coffee in one form or another. On top of that, in those early coffee houses, the New York Stock Exchange and the Bank of America, better known as Wall Street, were established. Also, those 80% of Americans that drink coffee spend an average of $165 per year on coffee. Not to mention that they wait in line to get coffee to go an average of 45 hours a year, or a full work week. So the next time you smell that coffee aroma, I hope you think about its coffee's rich history, its significance, and its impact on the United States. Thank you.